And it didn't work for anybody who ever tried to get themselves positioned into that marketplace. Well, then come the Walmarts and the Costcos. And Walmart starts dictating to General Motors and to Colgate and to Lever Brothers, oh, you want shelf space in our store? Then you got to do it our way. How much shelf space do you want? We'll give you shelf space if you do what we say, and we won't if you don't do what we say. Boy, the game changed for those guys. And then the game became price. With Walmart, definitely. You control 60% of the consumer goods marketplace. Price was the game, not quality. You don't go to Walmart for quality. You go there because they'll give you the cheapest deal. Walmart folks said, cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. We won't carry your product. We won't give you shelf space unless you give us a product that costs less. Oh, that was easy. Procter & Gamble and the other vendors, they just started putting fillers in a liquid product. That's easy. Just add water. And 2 years ago, maybe it was 2.5 years ago, Walmart said, stop it already. Enough with the watering down of your products. You can't water down your products anymore. It's hurting our business. Quality is going too far south. You need to take some of the water back out. We will not give you shelf space now unless you give us a 2X product. And that's when you saw all over, all the brands, whether it's Procter & Gamble or Lever Brothers, or if you're selling cleaning products, it's now 2X. You saw it happen in all the grocery stores. Everybody here in this room is old enough to have witnessed it themselves. It only happened a couple years ago. Dictated by Walmart and followed through with by other retail outlets also. Now, how does that affect us? Well, number one, we were doing a 4X, and we've upped it to a 6X because we found out how to do it. We patented the way to do it. And now that we have a patent that none of our competitors as far as we know, will ever be able to do a 6X because we got the technology to do it. At least they're going to have to wait at least 20 years before they could ever have access to that technology. So that's one piece. But how it affects us on the other side is, now the vendors, since water is controlled, and they still have to give a cheaper product, and you have to protect your margins, and you have pressure on your margins. If you're the CEO of Procter & Gamble, and you can't add water, and you still need to produce a better margin for your shareholders, what are you going to do? Go with cheaper ingredients. They're controlling water, so we'll use something else. Not necessarily to water down the product, but we'll do something a little cheaper, maybe a little less effective, maybe a little less safe. It'll be adequate. It'll do an adequate job, but it won't be the best. That's where Melaleuca comes in. No one dictates to us that we need to lower our price or lower our quality. We're a private organization. We can afford to, and we have chosen a model to provide only the very best. And we do control our line of distribution all the way through to the customer. There is no middleman between us and them, or between us and you, or between us and your customers. We ship directly to them, and we have a relationship with them. And better than that, no one can control us. No one can dictate to us what we have to do in order to reach our own customers. Now, all of the wellness products that are being sold at Walmart or any of these chain outlets have the same problem. They are being dictated to by price, requirements, or they cannot get shelf space. They are all under pressure to reduce costs and therefore reduce quality. And when it comes to wellness products, no customer wants to sacrifice quality. Do you want to sacrifice quality in your wellness products? No, because people want to live longer. They want to be healthier. They want to be stronger. That's why they're using these products in the first place. So those companies are in a horrible dilemma. And there is a niche being opened up for us. for people who want to buy quality products, who don't want to compromise quality on anything that has to do with health. That is where we fit in. And that is why people are flocking to Melaleuca by the thousands, because we are changing the game. Let's take a look at our business model. The idea that we would share, or any company would share profits, revenue with its customers is unheard of. No major marketer could afford to do that, even if they thought they had some left over. And if they tried to share it with their customers, the shareholders and the board of directors would step in and say, that is ours. And by laws of most countries, the board of directors has to give those profits to shareholders. They don't believe the customers have a right to it. They're right about that. I'm not sure it's the right of a customer, but what an awesome model that is for us. To share with the people who buy from us, to allow them to have a business of just referring customers to us, to have everybody prosper together. It's a unique idea. It's not something that any other company could ever afford to do with selling real product to real people who really want it. Yeah, those multi-level deals that buy, hundreds of dollars worth of inventory and stuff where the margins, the products cost twice as much as they're really worth in the marketplace. Oh, they can afford to give a little back because it's already priced twice as high of what it's worth. But if you're going to offer products at competitive prices like Melaleuca does, no company could afford to do that. And in that way, we are changing the game. Let's look at the world of advertising. Procter & Gamble and all of our major competitors, they have created their entire companies with advertising, mostly television advertising. Yeah, they do magazine advertising and newspaper and radio, but mostly it's been television advertising. And look what's happening to them now. They didn't anticipate DVR, where people, you know what I'm talking about. They didn't anticipate the remote control, where people could sit down and record the whole program and then just fast forward through the advertisements. They're paying, it's in the price of the product. You go out and buy a bottle of Tide, there's a certain huge percentage of the price of a bottle of Tide in there for advertising, because poor Procter & Gamble doesn't know they don't have a clue what to do. So they're still advertising on television, even though they've got to know no one is watching. Even if you don't have, look at your own home. Now here's an interesting question. The person who really is in control of the household is the person who has the remote control. In my household, that's Belinda. And if you've got control of the remote control, you're pretty much in control of that house. Now, even if you don't, here's what Belinda does. So even if it's not pre-recorded, and she will at least mute it. I mean, that mute button comes on, and then we talk in between, Or if maybe I'm busy doing something, well, then she'll do channel surfing in between. And she kind of knows when the program's going to come back on, and she's picking up on the news and all the stuff. Well, when you had to go to the dial and, work the TV deal, that no one had to worry about that. But that's what's going on today. I will tell you what, our competitors would love to be able to advertise through word of mouth. I don't think their products are exciting enough to make it work. And they don't have any way to compensate people for doing it. And in that way, we are changing the game. In the realm of starting your own business, we're sure changing that game. It used to be, and it always has been. If you're going to start your own business, you got to have a little nest egg saved up. That's always been the case, but in today's world, you need a big nest egg saved up. You can't go start a hamburger stand. You can't start a a car wash. You can't start some way to change people's oil. It's all franchise now. You need a few $100,000 to start something like that. It is really hard to start your own business, maybe almost impossible. We're changing that game. There's no way for the little guy to get ahead. You tell me how. Unless they inherit some money and